Hey guys, YouTube, welcome back. It's a Jimdel-Edu. We're back for part 6. Now we are going to code to add some code, continue with our series called Chat App, Live Chat System, Advanced System. And as you can see, let me reduce this. Okay. And remember, if you are new, guys, don't forget to go back and watch the preview, our introduction, and part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. Now this is part 6. Okay, we are going to continue with our series. Now this is part 6. We left our last part of our code was this file authenticate.php. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file, okay, called main.php. That main.php, let me give you a brief explanation here. And inside of the main.php file, this is where I create. Okay, let me put it this way. By the way, I'm going to create main.php. The reason why is because if you attempt to connect to our MySQL database, if there is any error message, we have to output all our connection error message, and then we have to know what's wrong. Also, if our connection is failed, failed to connect, we have to check the database variable and ensure that your database exists for all our tables. And this second reason why we create main.php is to check whether the user is logged in or not. And then for this, we will use a session to log in. Also, another reason is that we have to update the last scene, okay, for the user. And not only that, another reason for why I will create main.php. When the user log in, we should give each of our users a new. We should assign a new give or assign an icon for each of our users with different colors. Assign each of our users should get their own icon with different colors, to simplify. Okay, now this is why we create main.php. Now go to your main folder, right click and click on new file and go to save as. Okay, and then now here I'm going to call it main.php. Click on enter, and then now there you go. Okay, now we have main.php. The first thing I'm going to do is to create our PHP here, and now we have to initialize our sessions. Let me put it this way. And pass our session start right here. Now we have to include our config, because you cannot. Main is the main, as the word implies. You can see main .php, and and I think each the next we will have to create more files, and then every time you create a more file, we have to include config.php. Inside of our config.php, this is where we get our connection. Let me show you. Let me open config.php. This is where you can see, this is where we have our database, our user, password, database name. This is where we have config, means this is where we pass our connection. Therefore, we have to include here, we have to include config.php. Okay, and to continue, Now I'm going to use a try catch block. Why I'm going to use a try catch block is to try and catch any error message from our database. If there is an attempt to connect to our database and there's any errors, we have to output all connection errors. Okay. Um, Now take our DB host. Let me go back. Let me move. Okay. DB name. Okay. Database user pass. Desired pass. Okay. Now we have to output. There is any error message. I'm going to say output our connection error like this. Okay. Exception. Okay. Now this is where I'm going to pass. Remember, this is the closing. Okay, let me open this one here and let me put this one here. This is the try, and then this is where I'm going to create my catch block here, or we can put it here if you want. Okay. And Now, if there is any error message, we are failed to connect. We have to check the database variables and ensure make sure ensure our database exists to all our tables. And let me pass this fail to connect exit. Okay. This is the opening, and this is the closing, and then go to the next line. Now what I'm going to do, this is where I'm going to check whether the user is logging or not. That I'm going to create a function to check whether the user is logging or not. I'm going to say this function to check whether the user is logging or not, like this. Okay, and this is where I say function is login. Let me increase this once. Let me see, once I increase it and bring this down, so you see okay what I'm doing. Okay, now it should be fine now. Now this is the function login, and for this I'm going to use the if statement and pass my variable here. This one on chat widget account login right here. Okay, this is where I'm going to update the last seen the user for the user, the last seen date, for the user, and I'm going to use statement okay. Next, remember, every time you prepare a statement, you have to execute that statement. And put a space in front of it right here. This is the format. Okay. Remember to put this inside of our single quote. I prefer single quote. Single quote, like this. the semicolon at the end. And then now remember to return true. Okay, and then here's the opening, here's the closing. Go to the next line. Okay. Now guys, now what we are going to do, this is where I'm going to check all the cookie in the browser. Okay, this is where I'm going to check all the cookie in the browser, and to do so, this is where I'm going to check the, put it this way. Okay, I'm going to use an if statement here. And bring this back. If not empty, okay. Now, so if he said, now I'm going to use a statement to prepare that and then to execute also, and then to return everything. I'm going to use a statement okay. After using the statement PDO, prepare, execute everything, and this is where I'm going to say take my account, okay. Now check the cookie, and then now you have to make sure that the account exists, and then this is where I'm going to say check if the account exists, and then using the if statement, count here. If the account exists, we have to authenticate the user, and to do so, I'm going to use I'll put it this way, exit. If exits, I say exit. If there's, check if the account exists, Come on, guys. I would exit. Let me see if yeah, that's fine. Yes, exit. Okay. If let me put it this way. Yes, and we have to authenticate the user. Okay, and using session security account login, this one right here, and we should return it to true. This is an account ID. ID. I got server here, not server. Sorry, guys. It's supposed to be session. Yes. And then here, this is for the wall. Okay. And remember, we have to return true. Okay. Now we have two closing, one, and then go to the next line after the second one. And then now we have to return if the user is not logged in, and then we have to return false. If the user log in, return true, everything should be okay. And then now if the user is not logged in, we have to return false. User is not logged in, and then now we have to return false. Okay. And bring this closing, bring this up right here, and I want you to go after this closing. Now what I'm going to do next, this is where we are going to update the user secret code. Okay, we have to update the user, put it this way, secret code, and I'm going to, oops, no, let me go here on function. Okay, and I'm going to create a function. Okay, this function is our function update the info. ID. Remember, when you email, okay, we have to update the user secret code. By updating this user secret code, what do we need, guys? Now, the first thing we need the IP address. Okay, the first thing we need the IP address, and this is where I'm going to say get the IP address, and this is how I'm going to get it. this is, I'm going to say HTTP client IP. Okay. Let's go to the next line, and remember here space, let me put it this way so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, all right, and okay, here like this. Okay, now after getting the IP address, and this is where we have to get the user. Now this is where we are going to generate the code using the password hash function. Now we are using the password hash function. This is where I'm going to say use empty. Email. Okay. Now we have to, I'm going to set up the number of day that the number of day for the secret cookie to be remembered. Okay. This is, I'm going to put it like this. For the cookie, and this is where I'm going to say day equal, it should be remembered for 30 days. Okay, and then after that we have to create a new cookie, and so on, like this. It's gonna run like as a loop. And this is where I'm going to say, like, go to like this. I'm going to create new cookie. Okay. Okay, now we create a new cookie, and then now after creating a new cookie, we have to update the secret code inside our database. This is where I'm going to update the secret code inside of our database. And to do so, I'm going to use a statement ID equal question mark. Okay, and okay, bring this up like this. Now create a new cookie. Go jump to the skip one line. Now what I'm going to do next, guys, this is where, remember I told you that before, we have to create a function where we assign a unique icon color to each of our users. This is where I'm going to do that, and I'm going to say assign unique icon color to our users, like this. And this is where I'm going to create a function and call this function color from string, because to pass a color we have to use a string. Okay, like this. And next, this is where we have to, I'm going to paste it. All right. And here, let me add some note for you. This is the list of our color. Or I can put it the color list. Put it this way. All right. This is how you paste it. This is the first one. For example, if I want, let me go back and go here. Going to show you something. Let me go back to our code. Our first icon color. If I said add this color here, 3456 and 8B. Copy this and go back here. This is the color, okay, right here. There's blue, and we can change this one to a different one. Let me show you. You can put FF6F, FF6F61, and then click enter. Now you got a different one, and you can click here, you can click here, you can click here, and so on and so forth. Okay, and here, this is how we passed it. This is our first one. Okay, no space, just with a single quote, and then put hashtag, capital letter. Here you can put it, pass it the way you want. 61, you can put this way, and put, I'm gonna pass a few more for you guys, and you can add more according to your choice. Okay, we forgot the single quote here. Okay, and let me add one. I put a camera, and let's see. Oh, we forgot to add the other single quote with a camera, single quote here, like this. Also, and last one, let me add this one for you. Right, okay. And this is how you paste it, guys, and you can add more if you want. And put a semicolon and go to the next line. Now we passed our color. Okay, after passing our colors, we have to find our based. Okay, find the color based on the string. Let me add some notes. Color based on the string. Okay, and we use color indexed. Substring. And then we have to use char. Okay, and after string we need here from 0 to 10. This one should get here, yes. And we should, oh yeah, that's what happened. Substring, we are supposed to get only one opening here, and 0 10 here. This is fine, and remove the extra. We're supposed to get only one. Yes. Count colors like this. Substring char1. Got a string. Let's go to 10 percent current color. Okay, and then after that we have to return our color index. Return you have to say like this. Okay, this is the opening of the function, this is the closing. I want you to go to the next line. Okay, and now this is the, now remember we have to decode our UTF-8 emojis. Remember we passed our emojis. Remember inside of our, let's check this again. This is submit. We passed it from inside. Let's see, index. Allow it. Where's the our list of authenticate here? Where is the pass here? Okay. Where's our list? That's the CSS file. Support nav. Okay, and here, this is where we pass the add button, table. Okay, and config for our database. Authentication, authenticate. Yeah, this is where we have main. That's why we create main.php. Okay, yeah, we have to, let's go back to main.php. We have to decode our, remember we talked about that the emoji, we have to decode them. We have to set decode decode UTF-8 emoji like this. To decode, to do so, I'm going to create a function. No, not this one. Call it in Ajax as a function. Okay. Okay. And here put list. Okay. And use a for each loop. array as, remove this, so it should be as emoji like this. Remember, don't forget to add the $sign without S. Yes, emoji array here without S. Oh, so I want you to remove the S. Oops, sorry. Remove this, remove this. It's supposed to be like this. Let me increase this, the size. Okay. For each, I'm going to say for each as emoji, and pass my code here. Call the string. Replace here. Okay, we need and now remove here. We need the comma here and space. And comma space string. Don't forget to add the semicolon, and then here is the opening, is the closing. What I want you to do, go here. Okay, is the okay, is the opening, is the closing, and then is the for this, and go after the for each loop right here. Is the opening for the each loop, is the closing for the each loop. Go to the next line, and we have to return string like this, and then this part is done, guys. Yeah, okay, and this is why we create. And then don't forget to go to file, save all. Now we create the main.php. As I told you, if there's any error inside our database, if the user is logging or not. Also, we pass for each user, we pass an icon color for each user, and then also we decode the emoji, and then also we decode the UTF-8 emoji as well. Yes, and this part is done, and this is where we are going to stop for part 6, and stay tuned for part 7, and where if you go back to authenticate.php, scroll up. No, so if you open your JavaScript, scroll up, and then we will continue with our this files right here, each one conversation and so on, for on part 6. For part 7, sorry, this is part 6. We create main.php. On part 7 we'll continue with our series. Thank you if you are new. Thank you for watching. Thank you for learning with me, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Share, comment, any error message comments. I will be glad to help you out, guys. All right, see you in the next one. Stay tuned for part 7. Bye bye. All right, see you guys. Bye.